Hi, welcome to Highly Mobile. I'm your Pilates instructor, Dani Hagan. Today I'm going to speak with you about spine mobility. Your spine is capable of moving in 3 separate planes of motion. What that means is that your spine can round forward, extend back, you can tilt side to side, you can also rotate right to left. So it's a great idea to get your spine moving in all 3 different planes of motion every single day, whether you're incorporating it into your fitness regimen or just taking a little midday break from work. So let me show you a few simple exercises that you can do from basically anywhere. Right now I'm sitting on a reformer. You can do it from a regular chair, even from your couch or a bench, or even in your bed if it's low enough to the ground. But my feet are planted firmly on the ground. I have a 90-degree angle at my knees and at my hips. So start by placing your hands on your knees, and let's start with rounding. If you're familiar with cat-cow, you'll feel a similarity between these 2 exercises. So you're going to tuck your hips underneath you, press the spine behind you, drop your chin down to your chest, and then lengthen the heart up, keeping the shoulders depressed down as you lift the heart up to the ceiling and extend through the spine. And again, rounding and extending. Let me show you what that looks like from the side. So I'm tucking the hips underneath me, I'm scooping the abdominal wall in, the shoulders stay anchored down, and I press the spine behind me as the chin comes down to the chest. And then to lengthen, I'm extending up through the heart, the shoulder blades drop down, and I lengthen the heart up to the ceiling. Just be careful not to drop the neck all the way back. You don't want to crunch those neck vertebrae. You want to keep it lengthened. Let's do 2 more of those, rounding and extending. 1 more. So you can do anywhere from 5 to 10 of these, as many times throughout the day as you'd like. I certainly do it at least 5 times a day. So that's one little exercise. The other, I like to take my hands out to the side for a little bit of stability. Bring that left arm all the way up overhead. So think of floating the ribs up away from the hips to create some length in the spine, and you're going to rotate over. And if you're on a bench or a bed or something, you can use your hands to support you here. And then come back up and over to the other side. Lengthening to come back up. So again, you're trying to lengthen up through the spine and then contract it over. And note that I'm not rounding forward. So imagine you're between 2 panes of glass. You can't lean forward, you can't lean back. You can only work side to side. Let's do that 1 more time on each side. And again, doing this exercise anywhere from 5 to 10 times, great idea. And back up through center. Another exercise to get that rotation that we were talking about. So again, feet are planted on the floor. I'm going to take my right arm behind me and anchor it behind me, and I'm taking my left hand across onto my right knee so that I can rotate and look over the right shoulder. And back through center. Take that left arm up and over and behind, and rotate back through center. So notice that I'm trying to take my arm up and overhead. When was the last time you brought both arms overhead? If you're struggling with any neck tension, we have a lot of muscles in your neck that connect all the way down underneath the collarbone and into the rib cage. So bringing the arms up overhead helps to create some movement in those muscles and can help release any locking up that we might have. So let's do 2 more on each side. Arm comes up and over, you're rotating around. Again, still floating the ribs up away from the hips and then rotating around. Back through center. Left arm up and over. Look over that left shoulder. 1 more little secret I'll give you about this one. If you lead with your eyes, you're going to unlock a lot of mobility that you might not be aware that you have. So bring that right arm up and over. Look with your eyeballs. Look over that right shoulder. See if you can twist a little bit deeper this time. And back through center. Last one, up and over to the left. And back through center. Now that little eye trick, I've got a lot more body hacks for you to unlock all of the possibilities that your body is capable of, but we're going to cover that in a later episode for you. I want to show you one other exercise to help open up what's called your shoulder girdle, the rotation in your shoulders. So most of us spend a lot of time either sitting at a desk, working at a computer, staring at our phones, sitting in a car. So we spend a lot of time rounded over our phones and computers and everything. So what happens is your head tilts forward and you're creating an extra weight on your head. Your spine is not designed to hold this heavy head in front of you. Your spine is designed to hold your head directly on top of your shoulders. So we want to create, we want to counterbalance all of this rounding that we're doing by strengthening our back muscles. So in this position, my back muscles are stretching and I'm contracting my pectoralis muscles here. So what we want to do is open up the chest the opposite direction by engaging those back muscles and stretching open the collarbone and depressing the shoulders down to get back into our healthy posture that, unfortunately, with the way our culture is right now with technology, it's just a posture that we're all sinking into. So this little exercise is really great to help open up the chest for you. So you can use a resistance band. I'm actually using a belt from a robe because it was easily accessible. You can also use a towel or a t-shirt rolled up, just something that's long enough to give your hands plenty of space between them. So start with your hands low, and again, your hands are nice and wide here. The arms stay straight and the shoulders roll back and down. Bring the arms all the way up overhead and lower down behind you, and all the way back up. So the goal here is to inch your hands closer together while keeping the arms straight and the shoulders down. So if your shoulders start to shrug up to your ears, slide those shoulder blades down the rib cage. You should be getting a stretch right around here where the rope comes behind the shoulder blades. And again, just inching those hands closer and closer together to increase that range of motion in the shoulder girdle. And what this does is this is strengthening your back muscles and stretching out the muscles in the front of the chest, pulling that collarbone open, really creating some space in the body. So again, this is a great exercise. Take a break every couple of hours, every hour if you want. If you're like me, I do this frequently throughout the day just to really open up the chest and engage the back muscles. So there are some very simple exercises that you can do from your desk, you can do from your living room, or you can do in the Pilates studio with me. Again, I'm Dani Hagan. We've got lots of great episodes coming your way, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye. So for this one, you can use a resistance band. I'm actually using a belt from a robe because it was around and easy to use. You can also use a towel rolled up as well. Lots of options. You can even roll up a t-shirt if you'd like. So I want you to start with your hands really wide apart from each other. Bring the hands all the way down to the hips. The arms stay straight and the shoulders stay down. So pay attention if those shoulders start to sneak up on you. Roll those shoulder blades down, slide them down the rib cage. So start with the hands nice and wide. You're going to bring the arms all the way up overhead and back around behind you, keeping those arms straight, and then float it back forward. Now the goal here is to slowly inch your hands closer together to increase that range of motion. You should get a nice deep stretch right about here where that rope comes behind the shoulder blades, and then all the way back up. So your shoulders are capable of what's called circumduction, which is that your shoulders can move in all planes of motion, like your spine.